Before the pyramids rose above the sands of Egypt, before Babylon's hanging gardens or Persia's mighty kings, there existed a civilization so ancient, so advanced, that history itself nearly forgot it. This is the story of Sumer, the world's first civilization, a land of gods, kings, floods, and a rise and fall unlike anything mankind had seen before. More than 6,000 years ago, in a land known as Mesopotamia, the rivers Tigris and Euphrates carved out a fertile crescent of green in a world of desert. And it was here that humanity took its greatest leap forward. The people who settled this land were small farming communities until suddenly, in an explosion of innovation, towering cities emerged from mud and reeds. Uruk, Ur, Lagash, Eridu. These were not villages. They were the first cities on earth. At the center of this revolution stood Uruk, the city that would define the ancient world. Its walls stretched miles across the landscape. Its population rivaled modern small cities, and dominating the skyline was the world's first monumental architecture, the ziggurat, a colossal stepped temple rising from the earth like a mountain built by human hands. Here, priests and kings wrote the laws, controlled the economy, and defined society itself. Uruk wasn't just a city. It was the birthplace of civilization. But Sumer's most groundbreaking achievement came from a simple need: record-keeping. Trade was booming. Crops were taxed. Livestock changed hands. Clay tablets became the ledger of the gods. And from them emerged cuneiform, the world's first writing system. With writing came stories. With stories came legends, and from those legends, the first epic in human history, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, king of Uruk, warrior, tyrant, demigod, half man, half divine, terrifying in power, unmatched in ambition. His tale, etched into clay, speaks of a king who defied gods, battled monsters, sought immortality, and confronted the emptiness of human existence. Whether he lived exactly as the tablets say, we may never know. But archaeology proves one thing. Someone named Gilgamesh truly ruled in this land, over 4,500 years ago, and his city left ruins that still stand today. The Sumerians created everything a civilization needed to survive. They invented the wheel. They created mathematics, including the 60-minute hour. They engineered irrigation canals and the first system of organized agriculture. They built schools, wrote laws, mapped the stars, and tracked time. In a world where survival was uncertain, Sumer became a powerhouse of innovation. But prosperity attracted danger, and danger came from the north. For centuries, the rivers brought life to Sumer. But slowly, the very waters that fed the civilization began to destroy it. Irrigation without rest turned soil, salty crops withered. Yields fell. Fields turned white with salt like snow in the desert. Some cities collapsed entirely. Others were struck by something even more devastating: a massive flood that swept across Mesopotamia, echoed in myths across the ancient world. A story that survives as Noah's Ark and as the flood in the Epic of Gilgamesh. Environmental chaos brought political chaos. The Sumerian city-states, once united by trade and shared culture, began battling for dominance. Uruk against Kish, Lagash against Umma, Ur against everyone. These were not small tribal skirmishes. They were the first recorded wars in human history, fought with bronze spears, chariots, and armies led by divine kings. But one city rose above the rest. Under the rule of King Ur-Nammu, the city of Ur sparked a great revival. New temples were built. Law codes were written. The earliest we have ever found, trade expanded as far as India and Egypt. For a short, brilliant moment, Sumer shone brighter than ever. But history has a cruel rhythm. Just as Sumer reached its second golden age, an unstoppable force marched into the land. Around 2000 BCE, invaders known as the Elamites swept through the region. Their warriors smashed through the walls of Ur. Temples burned. Kings were carried away in chains. The last great Sumerian city fell, and with it, the world's first civilization. But Sumer did not disappear. Its language, myths, laws, and inventions lived on through those who conquered it. The Akkadians, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, the Persians. Every civilization that followed stood on Sumer's shoulders. So the next time you glance at a clock, or read a written word, or roll across a smooth road, you are witnessing the legacy of a forgotten people who lived 6,000 years ago. The people who turned mud and reeds into cities, who turned survival into society, and who turned stories into history. Sumer may have fallen, but civilization itself still carries its name in every moment of our modern world.